video, we're going to be looking at translating between recursive and explicit definitions. So in example 1, we saw a recursive definition. And that, in this case, would be a sub n is equal to 5, curly bracket, 5, when n is equal to 1, so our first term value. And then it's 1/2 times the previous term value, that's a -1, when n is greater than 1. And these are all whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to know what the explicit definition for a geometric sequence is. Well, the first term is 5. So first term is 5. And the common ratio is this guy right here. So the common ratio is 1/2. And the recursive formula, the definition is going to be a sub n equals the common ratio times a, the exponent n minus 1. So in other words, if a1 is equal to 5, and I want to find a2, well, then I'm going to do 5 times 1/2, 2 minus 1, or in other words, 5, 1/2, the 1 power. Same thing for a3. If I wanted to find the value for a3, this is going to be 5 times 1/2, 3 minus 1, or in other words, 5 times 1/2 squared. And so on and so forth. So the pattern reveals the explicit definition to be, and this is the explicit definition, so this is the recursive definition with this little curly bracket. The explicit definition would be a sub n equals my a sub 1 times my common ratio n minus 1. All right, so there we go. There is our explicit for there's our explicit definition. Okay, so let's look at another one. Let's given the explicit and find the recursive. So let's say I'm given a sub n equals 3 times 2n minus 1. Well, okay, here, get a different color here. This right here is going to be my common ratio. And this right here is going to be my a sub 1, or my first term value. So putting this into that recursive, we have a sub n is equal to the curly brackets of my a sub 1 when n is equal to 1, and then my ratio times a sub n minus 1 when n is greater than 1. All right, so my explicit, and this is my recursive. So let's define these a little bit more. Let's take this one more step further. So the explicit definition will look something like a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r n minus 1. While the recursive will be a sub n, curly brackets, term value, equals, term value a1 when n is equal to 1, and then r times a n minus 1 for n greater than 1. So these are just kind of the definitions. These will follow us through for every one of these examples. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will catch you in the next video.